All right, so here's a Craftsman lawnmower that's in need of some fixing. Needs a new gas cap, wasn't provided one with it, probably needs a new air filter. I'm going to replace the carburetor with an $8 Chinese one. No big deal there. Overall, this thing's in pretty decent condition. We do have a flywheel brake cable that's broken there, as well as here, so this thing's not even usable anymore. Sometimes you can save them, but this one's pretty much gone. I believe it does need an oil change, though that oil is not all that bad. So let's get this thing into the shop and get started. What we can do to see if this machine's even going to give us a start. So we got plenty of gas in there. There's the correct cap. Let's check the oil. Oil is a little over full, but that's okay. That's not by much. Get it to start. That's an interesting problem. I'm going to tip this thing over and just kind of see what's going on here. Blade looks okay. All right, so we'll take the beauty cover off. No spiders. Cord's in pretty good shape still, so we're not going to worry about that. Oh, that's nice and dirty in there. You're going to have to wash that out. Carburetor seems fine. So we're going to have to pull the tank back just a little bit. Pull this off just because. Easy enough. So now we can get to the recoil, because we have to take that off now. And then I got to take off the two 3/8 bolts in the back, as well as the 5/16 bolt here, just to kind of put that out of the way. I suspect somebody's been into this thing before. So now what I have to do is just get my electric impact. We're gonna nip this off. Pulls it off pretty quick doing it that way. Probably should vacuum this out, but I'm actually gonna give it a bath. All right. And sure enough, we have a broken flywheel key. So we're gonna have to pull this thing off. It's actually kind of nice because they left that zip tie on there for me. Let's get my puller in place and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm just gonna tighten her up some, not too much. We'll wax with a hammer. There it is. Oh yeah, they hit something. It's kind of surprising though, it didn't damage the blade, but that's our problem. So I more than likely won't have to mess with the carburetor on this thing at all, but I am gonna have to clean all of this off. So this cleaned up really nice. I am gonna change the oil, so I'm sure probably a little bit of water got into the oil, but I'm not worried about that. I do have a brand new flywheel key, so we're going to install it. And all we do for this, there we go. That's on and in place. So now we can throw the starter cut back on. That just goes on like this. Here's your nut. Perfect. So I'm gonna throw all this back together. We're gonna try and hopefully I've got a flywheel brake cable that'll work on this thing. But we're definitely gonna pull that air filter box off, inspect the air filter, probably start this thing without the air filter on, and go from there. All right, so here's the air filter. Probably going to replace that. There's the hat. Let's take this thing outside, check the oil, make sure there is no water in it, and then we're gonna give this thing a start, let it run for a bit before I change the oil. All right, so give her a few primes. Runs pretty damn good. A little bit of a hiccup there at first, but that might have been because of some water or something else that was inside it. Anyways, not really all that worried about that. Let's dump this oil out. Oh yeah, that needed to be changed for sure. Let it do its thing. Got a leaking gas cap, but that's okay. It's not leaking too much. All right, so I'm gonna finish off with putting some new oil in it. Let it settle for a minute, see where it's at. Oil, I just checked it off camera. It's right where it should be. You guys can see it better now. So now we're just gonna put the air filter back on, brand new air filter. There we go. So now I just need to find a good flywheel brake cable and install that. All right, so I have a good used brake cable out of the Horde. So we're gonna pull this out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that. I need the zip tie anyways. This new one's a little shorter. That. That's trash. So this one I did just soak in some WD-40. So I'll put this one on. There's that. And we're just long enough. So there it is, just gotta make these look a little bit better, no big deal. And then we're gonna let it run for a minute. All right, so let's give it a few primes and let it run for a little while. was about 15-20 minutes of running. Runs really good. Happy with this how this thing turned out. So stay tuned for more videos, guys, but this one is ready for sale. Probably clean it up again, quick spray off, maybe a wipe down with some WD-40 to shine it up a bit. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to clean the bag off too much. Looks a little bit better than it did, but it's nowhere near perfect. Probably get about 100-120 bucks for it. Stay tuned for more.